watching The Big Picture.
Everybody come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome in the queen herself. Here she comes, here she comes.
Get in this room with us.
Get in the room.
Let's populate this thing.
All right. Yes. Live chat is filling up. I can feel it right now. It's going to be a big night.
It's good.
It's going to be a big, big night. We both feeling good. Ain't feeling good about the condition of the world, but we're feeling good about the condition of this show and the Big Picture family.
As it grows darker, you only grow brighter.
Oh my goodness. It's getting so deep in here
Y'all
already.
See what I did right there? Y'all see what I did right there?
Yeah, we saw.
Okay.
All right. So tonight, right off the bat, if you haven't smashed that like button, go ahead and smash it now and subscribe to our channel. So many new people's being shown our channel. We're so thankful for that. That is all because of you. Because you are watching this, you're watching it for a long time. The algorithm is grabbing that and putting it in front of people. So, of course, what everybody's talking about, what's going on in Minnesota and different places around the world, but especially in Minnesota, which is the beginning of, which was, I think, the beginning of the riots of all the protests and everything with George Floyd back in 2020. And I think that they're some of the same people that had the things happen in Minneapolis are involved here too. Now, the reason we're covering it extensively tonight is it took it to another level. They stormed a church. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't seen the full story. I've heard little bits here and there today.
Okay, so let's go right into this here. ICE protesters came into a church service in Minneapolis and disrupted the church service. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, good shot tonight. You're going to hear some F-bombs and maybe even some. I'm going to try my best.
Good chance you're going to hear some language. Okay.
Yeah.
We're warned.
Yeah. So you're forewarned. I tried to find the ones that had the least amount in it. It's so crazy nowadays. People can't get angry without dropping the F-bomb every other word, and not just angry, just talking.
Right. I was about to say, just in normal communication, even when you're not in a bad mood.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. This is video from. Can you imagine now? All of our Christians out there. You're in a church service on a Sunday morning, worshiping God.
Think you're in a safe place.
Safe place, and then this happens.
Justice for the neighborhood. Justice for the neighborhood. Justice for the neighborhood.
That's the pastor. So that's the pastor. Let's scroll down here. So this is a little bit more video here. So yeah. We're going to go deep dive on to Don Lemon here. Don Lemon may be in some serious trouble here, but he's quite frankly, he's completely irrelevant. And when he got kicked off of CNN, he's now doing YouTube videos and he's trying to make himself relevant again. And he's the reason that this is filmed. He's in there, and now the Department of Justice is saying that he may be prosecuted.
Guys standing up now saying, "Get out of our church!" Screaming.
So that's Don Lemon talking. He's getting mad at the church member that's standing up saying, "Get out of our church."
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
They're trying to calm him down.
Yeah, we're being hit. We're being hit right now. That we have excellent internet here. I've already glitched. You've glitched.
Okay.
We're being hit right now.
Prayers.
Yeah,
Let's send some prayers up.
The enemy does not want this going out.
So Don Lemon, did he not get fired or leave a couple of years ago?
He got fired. He was fired.
He's as big or almost as big now, right?
I don't think so.
Look, he's still around.
I don't think
what do we have to do to truly help him go out to pasture? You say he's gonna get in trouble this time. Really?
Well, we're gonna
it seems like another case of Hillary Clinton to me, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is. So
this is some video from there. Now I want to continue. Don Lemon loses it after smarter man shuts down his gaslighting at a Minnesota church stormed by far left agitators. So he goes outside, I think. It says former CNN host Don Lemon suffered a public meltdown after a calm, articulate churchgoer dismantled Lemon's gaslighting narrative following a far-left disruption of a Minnesota worship service. So let's see this conversation.
These people have come into our house and they've interrupted our worship. This is a house of peace, and we try to proclaim that. And this stirs division and rancor. and in the end, it's not helpful. Ultimately, I believe they've lost. They've emptied a house of worship. Everybody's gone home. Their point has been proven worthless. And so, in the end, I think they lose. But more importantly, if I was to break into any of their houses uninvited, cause derision and upset according to their values, I would be kicked out ultimately. It's not a good way. I feel violated. I feel interrupted. I feel angry.
May I ask you something? When you were saying if you had showed up at their house, they're saying that people are showing up at houses where they're citizens
Yes.
or without due process
Yes.
and breaking and entering their house.
Yes.
One that we saw, I've been watching from New York, with a battering ram into someone's private property, and
Yes.
there's no recourse.
Yes.
There's no, you understand what I'm saying?
This is all part of a much larger dialogue, in my opinion. On one side are people who watch.
This woman that just came out as a professional, she's a paid professional. She is one of the leaders of Black Lives Matter there, and it has been reported that she has made millions of dollars. They train on these chants, and she is a professional.
Exactly. Take their money away, take their paycheck away. You think they show up? You think they bombard the church house?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah,
No.
it's all for the cameras. They don't really.
It's all
they
for the
don't really
cameras,
care.
but it's all for pay. It's
for
all for
pay.
a paycheck.
Yeah, exactly.
A previous administration bring 12 million people in over the course of 4 years, and many of them undocumented, many of them criminals, etc. This is another administration's corrective. Now, whether you agree with the policies,
Did you hear what she was saying?
I couldn't understand
She's
all
like,
of it.
ain't no power like the power of the people because the power of the people don't stop.
Yeah.
That's
the
original.
procedures, I think I could actually be sympathetic to some of the things where there have been
My favorite is
challenge.
River to the Sea.
Dude, we are getting hit on our internet right now.
Guys,
It's amazing.
If something happens,
Yeah.
hang with us.
Yeah, just hang
we'll
with
do
us.
everything we can to straighten it out or get back if we get knocked off.
And by the way, let me say this too. If you think what I just said and what we're covering tonight is political, then you are clueless. This is spiritual.
Yes.
This is a spiritual warfare. This is the beginning of the next phase of attack of Christianity. If you think us covering these protests, regardless of where you stand on ICE, regardless of where you stand on what's going on in Minneapolis, if you think it's okay to come into a Christian place of worship and do what they did, then what you're really okaying is the next level of what they're going to do in the church. And let's not forget, long before this happened, we've covered countless times where people have come into places of worship with a weapon ready to do this. And when this is legitimized on a mass scale, that you can come in and disrupt, and then you got crazies going on with that too.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now, this is not political. And you I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't want to push that button with me tonight, because this is not political. This is spiritual warfare. This is a place where we come to be equipped for the work of the ministry and worship our God. And you're not going to come in, and I'm telling you, this is the devil always overplays his hand.
Listen, I think a few more of you should do what Tabby just said. By speaking out and just verbalizing and saying, I cancel all evil plans of the enemy against this change, this tonight in Jesus' name. Just rebuke it in the name of Jesus and just speak out that this word's going to go forth.
Well, you said a while ago, is anything going to happen? Is anything going to happen to Don Lemon? Well, look, I don't know if this is all talk or not, but it came out today that the DOJ, the Department of Justice, is planning on charging Don Lemon under what is known as the KKK Act.
Is that irony or what?
Yeah, for inciting a church raid. This was reported on Benny Johnson's show, which I really like him, man. He's
pretty cool.
He's pretty cool. But Robbie Starbuck, he's awesome too. He's the one that was responsible for shutting down so many DEI policies at Target and Tractor Supply and all this. But this is where it's coming down to. Don Lemon. This is how brazen these people are.
Right.
He gets on camera before they go into this church, and he basically implicates himself because he tells the camera that he has foreknowledge that this group is about to do a secret invasion and he's going to follow them. So this is what the Department of Justice is saying that he could be charged for. Listen to this.
Into Minneapolis a little bit ago and did some reconnaissance on the ground, speaking to an organization there that's gearing up for resistance and protest. I've been pleasantly surprised to see the community coming together. Diverse community. If you see this, when we first pulled up, we're like, wait a minute, which operation are we at? And as it turns out, because we were like, well, this is kind of MAGA coded, right? Saw the American flag or whatever, but these are resistance protesters.
How stupid.
That flag's so dangerous.
It's
so dangerous.
MAGA coded. I saw an American flag. MAGA coded American flag?
Yeah.
Don, you are a multi-millionaire. A multi-millionaire. You have complete freedom to do what you're doing only because of the United States of America.
And that flag.
And that
dangerous flag.
Planning an operation that we're going to follow them on. I can't tell you exactly what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up.
He says, I can't tell you what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up. He knows where they're going.
Foreknowledge.
And it's Takima Armstrong, and she has been doing this since George
Floyd is always about to say, because she is the director of Black Lives Matter, and she started with George Floyd.
Doing this since George Floyd, Dante Wright, and others, where they surprise people, catch them off guard, and hold them to account. And so that's what we're doing here. And then after we do this operation, you'll see it live. And these operations are surprise operations. Again, you can't tell you where they're going.
He meant going into the church, catching people off guard and holding them to account. Is that what he was exactly talking about?
Yeah. Do you know why they said they stormed it? It's because they said they accused the pastor of working with ICE. So if a pastor has a positive thing to say about ICE, then what they're saying is that him and the congregation, including women and children, there was many children that was in that room.
And scared the kids and made them cry.
Scared them to death. They're now targets.
That's real strong.
Don Lemon, this is Nick Sorter here, personally praised one of the rioters who stormed a church in Minnesota yesterday, telling him, thank you for your service. Lemon is not a journalist. He encouraged people. So listen to this.
People who are wearing the uniform now, you think they're patriots?
I don't think so, especially those ICE agents.
That's what I'm talking
no.
about. Yeah. Well,
No, they're terrorists. They're traitors.
They're terrorists.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your service. I appreciate it.
Today we had the honor to protest with.
Look at this hat.
Nice hat. Yeah.
So he literally looked at him and said, thank you for your service. And he says he's doing this as a journalist. Watch this. So Don Lemon in every look, kids, look at this kid scared to death in the congregation.
Crying.
Don Lemon and every single radical that stormed the church isn't immediately arrested. People are going to start taking matters into their own hands, and things are going to get ugly fast. Either the DOJ steps up or the American parents of these kids will be terrified. This is insane. Now, this is what I wanted to show you here. This was on Benny Johnson's. DOJ announces intention to charge Don Lemon under the Ku Klux Klan Act. I never even heard of that. The KKK Act makes it illegal to threaten, hurt, or intimidate people to prevent them from exercising their God-given rights. Come find out that the Klan Act was actually instituted shortly after Abraham Lincoln emancipated the slaves. Wow. And he put this law into place so that former slaves, African Americans, it would be illegal to stop them from voting, to stop them from doing other things. And of course, the South, the Dixiecrats, which of course, sorry to inform you this, they were the Democrats. That's the truth. That were the founding members of all this, fought against that. And of course, we know what all came out of that as a result. But this is Harmeet Dillon, works for the DOJ. Listen to what she says about Don Lemon.
We will pursue charges in this case. I see various crimes that have occurred. Exactly what they are, I'm not going to flag, but the FACE Act has been mentioned as one of the predicates there. In other cases, the Biden DOJ used the Klan Act conspiracy charges tacked on to the FACE Act in the case of protests outside abortion clinics to bring much longer sentences. So there are a number of tools available to us.
I want to stop and say let you know what she just said. She said during the Biden administration, They used this very act called the Klan Act and something else called the FACE Act to combine it together to turn praying in front of an abortion clinic from a misdemeanor to a felony and put people in jail for praying at an abortion clinic.
That's crazy.
Talking to people going in to get an abortion, they called it obstruction of their right to get an abortion, and they used the Klan Act against them.
That's Great Britain stuff right there. That does not seem even possible that we would be that could have happened in this country.
All right, here we go.
Who funded this? What else? What other crimes may have occurred? Was there a use of the wires or the mails in preparing for this event? Did anyone cross state lines to do this? All of those are potential predicates for additional federal charges.
Armin, I've just pulled up the Klan Act because this is the first time that I've heard this mentioned. This is a act that was passed in 1871, correction there, to combat the Ku Klux Klan and protect African Americans' voting rights, especially the Enforcement Act, which is known as the Force Act. So here's some of the information on screen. Would you mind breaking down for us, because we have just read the FACE Act and how this is an affinity to the FACE Act, an obvious and egregious demonstrable violation of the FACE Act, because they were entering a place of worship, harassing and threatening. We just played a video of a man, a bearded man, who was threatening to attack the Christians that were worshiping there. So it seems like an obvious FACE Act violation. But the Klan Act here, it is on screen. First time I've heard it mentioned. Can you unpack this for us, Harmeet?
Yeah, the Klan Act is one of the most important federal civil rights statutes, and it goes back to the time when President Lincoln emancipated the slaves, and yet the southern states, Dixiecrats mainly, were refusing to give them equal rights. And in fact, that you had sheriffs and you had law enforcement harassing the newly freed slaves. So the Klan Act is a law that makes it illegal to terrorize citizens, to violate their civil rights, to get together and conspire to violate the civil rights. It is often used against law enforcement, but is now used against others as well. So whenever anyone conspires to violate the protected civil rights of American citizens, the Klan Act can be used to bring a conspiracy charge. We, in the federal law enforcement parlance, call this 241 and 242 civil and criminal conspiracies. And so what the Biden administration did is, if three grandmas got together to pray outside an abortion clinic for the souls of the people inside, and including the unborn children, they would say, oh, that's not just a violation of the Klan Act, that's a conspiracy to violate the civil rights of women going in there to get abortions. And so we're going to add additional charges and punish that more and make it from a misdemeanor under the FACE Act to a felony under the Klan Act. And President Trump pardoned the pro-life protesters in those cases. I have recently defended successfully in the 11th Circuit a case called Oropesa, a case.
So I want to say this here. The link that had says my friend Carolyn was one of those arrested outside of abortion clinic during the Biden administration. Yeah. This is insane. You're exactly right, Sarah. This is insane.
I've seen the chat is pretty upset tonight. I've seen multiple lock him up comments. One person said he crossed state lines. He had to fly there to get there.
Yeah. I mean, he incriminated himself by saying, I've been told they're going to go in, they're going to sneak into this place, and I'm going to follow them in there.
He incriminated himself by his own words. Will anything happen?
Probably not. But I want to one more thing on Don Lemon. So of course he's going to play the victim card. So he comes straight out when people started saying this stuff that he had violated and committed a crime by doing this. He goes to, I don't know what this lady's this woman here. Let me just say, I'm gonna be very nice because I know it's still a human being, but this one right here has got some devils. I've seen her on CNN. She hates God. She hates God. She is militantly atheist. And her and this other woman have the #1 liberal podcast in America. And of course, Don Lemon goes on there. And look at the headline. Don Lemon lashes out, whines that he's being targeted for being a gay black man, and slams church parishioners he harassed as entitled white supremacists. Don Lemon is melting down over being criticized for his actions during yesterday's storming of a church by anti-ICE protesters. As previously reported, radical anti-ICE agitators stormed City's church, interrupting Christians in the middle of worship. Instead of condemning the mob's conduct or defending the constitutional right to religious assembly, Lemon inserted himself into the chaos, live streaming the scene and aggressively confronting the congregants who are already shaken by the intrusion. Let's watch this little video clip here of him crying like a baby.
And there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitled.
What do you practice? What type of Christianity do you practice?
Groups like.
Oh my! He's speaking of entitlement.
Yeah.
He goes into a congregation who is trying to have a worship service, and you just bust in there where people screaming and acting up and kids crying and people trying to get down under the bench, the pew, out of fear. I mean, quite frankly, we don't know that some people inside that building were not immigrants here illegally, just wanted to take their family to church. And this is insanity.
It's insanity.
And then you want to cry? Entitlement?
Oh, yeah. And he says that, he goes on to say, I'm going to play this, it's only 44 seconds, but he basically says that those worshipers have an entitlement.
And they are.
That they can worship.
They're entitled to worship.
But he's saying it's a bad entitlement.
Right.
And there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from
he's playing the victim.
Supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much. And so, yeah, I absolutely 100%.
This is the height
it's an intimidating
of insanity.
Only if you're Christian. And by the way, only if you're a white male Christian.
Right.
A white male Christian.
tactic. And, I said, I don't understand how I've become the face of it when I was a journalist.
Oh, this is golden here. So he talks to his team after he's getting ridiculed. Listen to what he says to his team.
I said, I don't understand how I've become the face of it when I was a journalist. I do understand that I'm the biggest name there. And I'm also, as I was on with my producers this morning, you and Kylie talk all the time. My producers were saying, I said, how did I become the face of this? And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man in America.
Okay. Bring it back to that.
That's it.
Bring it back to that.
You're a gay black man in America.
Yeah. Don't worry about barging in Sunday morning service of the church house and basically harassing people that only came together to worship peacefully. You come in here and raise a stink, and people feel threatened by your actions, and then you want to cry victim?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. This is the height of insanity. And not only that, your viewers want to pile on with you. Yes, how could you treat him this way? You poor thing. It is craziness. Where's the common sense?
I think I lit her up, y'all. You better look out.
Where is the common sense?
Oh, Lord. Well, you know what's common sense is for you to come to Birmingham March 27, 28, 29 to the Big Picture Prophecy Conference.
Come on.
Y'all, you got to get here. I'm telling you, I've been telling you, and this is more and more every Monday we show you, this is going to be one of the most perfectly timed prophecy conferences in human history.
I think so.
I'm telling you. We got Paul Begley. Everybody knows Paul and loves him. Tony Merkel, Joseph Z, Alan DiDio, me and my wife. We worked on it today. We've been strategizing and putting this thing together. We're going to have Q&A. We're going to have roundtable discussions, keynote speakers. We're going to have opportunities for you to get to meet people, talk to them individually. It is going to be phenomenal. And I got some breaking news tonight on the Big Picture Live.
And then right on the backside of that prophecy conference
is
here comes the book.
Yeah, the Final Flood. The Final Flood. Hey, but I got something exciting to tell y'all. Because many of you have asked about this. You've said, I want to be there so bad, but I can't come because of expenses or time off. I can't get time off or something. Well, guess what? If you go to prophecyconference26.com, which is linked down in the description, and it'll take you right to this page and you click buy tickets, look what pops up now. We now have a streaming option for $29. For $29, you will get access to every session. I'm talking about Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night. That's insane for $29. Now, the reason we're charging for that and not just making it free is because the only way it can be free is on YouTube and it not cost anything on the building side. We can't put it on YouTube. We cannot put this on Facebook. Now, we may go back later and edit some of the things out and use it. We cannot do this because we're not going to tie the hands of these speakers. We're not worried about algorithms. We're not worried about censorship. We're going to speak what we feel to speak. And you're going to be able to come in and watch everyone. And by the way, once you purchase that, you'll have the option to go back and rewatch them. And if you miss it, $29, what's going to happen is if you buy the ticket, we'll have your email when you buy that ticket. And then the day the conference goes live, you will receive a secure link that will take you to LarryRagland.com and will show you exactly how you can stream all of it. Man. $29, that's insane. That's if you got a decent sized family, that's a drive-through. That may not even be drive-through.
Feed a family for $29.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The feeding that's going to happen for you is just going to be amazing.
Amen.
All right, let's continue. So most of you know who Nick Sorter is, right? So we got what's the other guy's name? Nick Shirley, is that his name?
He's the young man that was going into the so-called daycare centers.
Yeah. So what's up with these Nicks, man?
Nick Nicholas, and Nikki is really trending right now.
It really is. Now, Nick Sorter became really famous back in the fires.
Yes.
Remember, he was the guy that confronted the mayor of Maui to his face about where are the children, which, by the way, let's just go ahead and say, we still don't know what happened to the children. All the questions. There's so much stuff has happened since we've had the big picture live.
Also,
where are the kids?
Impossible.
It is. It does. It does seem impossible.
This doesn't seem like this would even be able to happen. But
it did.
A question that still has not been answered.
Absolutely. Now, that being said, Nick Sorter is also involved in the things that are happening in Minnesota. He's making videos just like Nick Shirley.
He's on the ground?
He's on the ground now. And he has been attacked and beaten 2 or 3 times now. He's already posted pictures of a black eye. And today he was being followed by 2 or 3 cars, and he had his camera out the window, and they attacked his car, stole his $1,000 camera, and they drug him. He tried to open the door to get it back, and they drug him down the street. Insane, y'all. Top attorney now, thankfully, replaces journalist Nick Sorter's camera after Somalis drag him down the Minnesota sidewalk. A prominent conservative attorney has intervened to assist an independent journalist who has reportedly been robbed in Minneapolis by Somalians who then dragged him with their getaway vehicle. What's this? This is a resident of, and this is, I'm telling you, you're going to probably hear some F words. I've warned you. Resident of Somali neighborhood tells Nick Sorter and I just before Somali steals his camera and drags him 40 to 50 feet. They begin to say this. Remember when we started reporting on the United Kingdom and places in Europe where they had no-go zones? Where basically meant the police wouldn't go, and you were told if we don't give you permission, you can't even come in this street. That's what's happening in Minneapolis. They're telling them, get out of my city, get out of my street. You don't belong here. Watch this. Yeah. This is America.
Recording everybody in this neighborhood. Well, because we're being followed. We don't have to. What do you mean? There's a convoy of 4 cars behind us, and we've got 6 people surrounding us.
It's Nick Sorter.
Huh? Oh, we don't want to leave. We're being followed and intimidated. I don't want to leave when that's happening. Why do we have to get out of here? It's in your place. Why is it not our place? This is America. Hey!
They just stole his camera right out of his hand.
She just stole Nick's camera.
So he grabs the car door.
She took Nick's camera.
And he dragged. That's just Nick Sorter being drugged.
She just stole Nick's camera.
I mean, that could have ended badly. Look at the tree.
Badly.
He could have been slammed to that tree.
Yeah, crushed. Wow.
Unbelievable. This is America.
Yeah. I have a word for everyone, and I'm not being funny, but think about this. Drone. Let's get some drones up. If this is going to be so crazy dangerous, but we still need to be here or in the area or whatever, let's think about using some drones and getting some drone footage. He's showing us. You're about to show that?
Yeah, this is Nick Sorter's hand. What happened to him when he hit? He literally, he said, yep, the one that no longer has a driver's side door handle. He pulled the handle off the car. He posted the tag for people to find this car. He jerked the whole handle off.
I'm glad that he got his camera replaced by someone who just wanted to help him, but I hope he didn't lose a lot of footage.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah. I don't even know what this is, but I'm gonna play it. It says, ICE agents could be assassinated if sanctuary cities insurrections allowed to continue. Attorney Mike Davis. I'm just going to play this. I have not seen this, so okay. I don't know what
Brace yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
Me on, and I really appreciate initial
say the border issue being one and internal issue.
I think it's just somebody talking about the issue, but
have they used the word war zone, the phrase war zone?
Oh yeah.
I thought that had probably been being used already for a while, but it's hard for me. I have to take a deep breath and just try to keep things in perspective.
Yeah, Lisa's saying he could have lost his life. You're exactly right.
Exactly right. He could have lost his life, been very seriously injured.
And did you notice something about that video?
What?
No police anywhere.
Yeah, I did.
So he finally calls. They call. The video goes on. He says, "Did anybody call 911? Anybody call 911?" So they call 911. This is Minneapolis police. They arrive to Nick Sorter. And instead of saying, yeah, we got you back, this is the police from the Minneapolis city talking to Nick Sorter. He is bleeding. He is bruised. He just got drugged down the street, could have been killed. His camera is stolen. And this is what is being told to the police department of Minneapolis, Minnesota.
We have a ton of calls stacked that we have to answer.
So, I
don't have a time frame for you. But my point is, you guys need to not be in this area. I mean, I can't tell you have to leave, but if we're getting calls that you guys are harassing people,
we were. But driving around is not harassing. We were the ones being harassed.
And 100%. If that's fine. I'm just saying if it rises to that level, because they're saying you guys are.
Well, that's the other thing about us too. Is like we're journalists. Like people are trying to intimidate us out of here for doing our first amendment.
I know, but we don't need this stuff to keep happening.
I get it.
The level of hostility, obviously, it's not going to go away.
We just want our stuff back.
We understand, and we're going to work on that. We've got a very detailed report started here.
And also, here's the other thing, too, is like, if they rob us and then we leave, that just teaches them, if somebody here comes here you don't like, just rob them and they'll leave.
Okay, but there's a process that we have to follow, okay?
I get it.
So we take the report, we document everything that happens.
Sure.
It goes to our investigators, and they can dig deeper into it. We have the vehicle information now with the plate, so that's very helpful.
Okay.
So if we see the car, we can go from there.
Okay. I'll try to get a DHS.
So we'll be looking for the car, but you guys got to do us a favor and stay out of this area.
Yeah.
All right?
Did you hear that? You guys got to do us a favor,
right,
and stay out of this area.
Mr. Sorter, what I'm trying to say without saying it is, we can't really protect you.
That's what you're saying.
You're a hot potato,
and you're the problem.
You're the problem. And, be best if you just went ahead and left, because can't guarantee any level of safety for you, sir.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
To this point again, we got a lot of reports.
I guess
it's a felony versus them just not liking our.
I understand we get attacked and assaulted. By the way,
yeah, what are you saying? He goes, yeah, the cops keep saying we just keep getting a lot of reports about you guys. Why don't you just leave? And he goes, look, it's one thing for people to not like us. Mm-hmm. I just had a felony theft happen to me, and you're going to all you want to talk about is you need to leave, not about the fact that my $1,000 camera that I used to do my job just got stolen.
They tried to steal my camera earlier, and we're the ones told to leave.
I'm not justifying what they did, but we're trying to keep the peace at the end of the
day. Really?
And the bottom line is, you guys obviously aren't in the area.
But it's like if I'm a woman and I get raped for wearing tight jeans, and it's like, well, you shouldn't have been there. It's
but that's
not what we're saying.
Well, we're being told to leave when we're the ones who got attacked. I mean, it's like...
Well, we're probably going to look inside the parking garage.
I'm just saying we want
people
who
keep
did
in
the
mind,
robbery
this
to
is
get
private
arrested
property,
and not
so
you guys.
security asks you guys to leave. You have to
they never actually asked us to leave.
I'm just telling you guys,
all right.
Hanging around here is not going to help anything.
I mean, there's plenty of video already of you guys circling the area because we've been getting calls on you guys. So
yeah, we got
followed.
Wow.
Totally illegal though. Okay. I'm not going to leave the area when we're being followed. So
it's like
that's part.
This is insane. The police just said to Nick Sorter, "There's plenty of video of you circling the city. We've got that." Well, this is the biggest news item in America, and people are not getting any kind of coverage from mainstream media. So citizen journalists are out there and they are saying, you are not welcome here.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. In as roundabout fashion as he can, he's like, you're the problem. If you'll leave, my life will be so much better. Things will be so much better. You're not going to have any kind of assurance of safety while you're here. Just leave. Just leave.
Yeah. Yeah, people are asking about the World Economic Forum. Hang on. It's coming. We're going to cover it. It started today. We're getting there tonight. But here's another article. It says, violent left-wing mobs in Minneapolis are hunting for ICE and attack counter-protesters. The NGO-funded madness continues in Minneapolis, but the volume of violence has been turned up, and it appears that activists have been given the green light to physically assault anyone and everyone they deem a political enemy. Conservative counter-protesters arrive in the area, small groups or alone, have become easy targets for mobs of hundreds of rabid leftists in the streets. So you can see people just being beat up here. All right, so I want to tell you, I don't know if it's in this article or not. These are just people walking in the streets. Where's the police? There's no police. They're walking, looks like, to their car in a parking garage.
Right.
I saw another video, and I don't know if it's here. It's full of F words, but there was a group of computer software coders that were in a cafe.
Right.
And one of them had a camouflage jacket on.
Mm-hmm.
They walk outside. They're just eating. These are, in fact, it was revealed later that they don't like ICE. They're liberals. And there's young people. And one of them had a camouflage jacket on. They walk outside, and when they walk out, there are rioters out there that see the camouflage jacket, and they think that they must be pro-ICE because of what they're dressed, and they beat him up. And he's screaming, I'm one of you, I'm one of you. And they are beating him up until finally they realize he's one of them. And the people start screaming, he's one of us, he's one of us. And they stand him up, and he's bleeding. He's in complete confusion. It is madness. Yeah. This is spirit. That's why I keep saying this is spiritual warfare. When you are so deranged that you look at a camouflage jacket and you can't help yourself, you have to attack them the moment they come out of a coffee shop. Lord, this is the days of Noah. This is what Jesus talked about.
It's like evil, just a manifestation, just coming out of people.
It really is.
They're losing it. And I'm not laughing. I don't mean to be laughing, or please don't think
We're not
that
laughing
I think
at this
is
situation.
funny. I just am beyond words. I don't even know. Do you even recognize your country anymore? Does it make you nervous? Thank God the entire place is not like this, because this is a lot.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't want to stay here all night long,
No,
but you
we
need to
can't.
know how serious it is. Look at this. Minneapolis police have completely turned over the city to leftists, and they are now forming groups to hunt down anyone who appears to support ICE. With this man being saved by the feds just moments before being beaten, this is the guy for simply wearing camo. Watch it. They're chasing.
Wait a minute. Let him up. Let him up. Police.
They've already been beating him. He's dazed. Said, did you get the message?
That's all they asked. He's one of us. He's one of us. Okay, good. You all right, dude? You all right? Come on, breathe. He's one of us. How do we know? How we know? I was with him earlier. Why you get ran out earlier? I don't know. He's one of us. I'm with them. Trust me. There's wonderful people down there. He's been with us the whole time. You kept us good. You all right, man? Hey, move back.
This is like a movie.
It is.
All right? Move back right now. Back up. Back up!
Yeah, save your Nazi. Put him in your Nazi van. Go get him some help. He needs a little bit of fucking mental health there. Don't he?
Nobody got guns.
It's crazy.
I'm moving on, but you need to look. We're not one of those channels that's going to fearmonger all. We don't do this, but you need to know the seriousness. This is happening, and let me tell you something. All we're seeing is Minneapolis, but it is boiling. It is boiling across this country.
I believe that. And
somebody needs to have a spiritual stance.
Here's my question to you. So, what does President Trump do next?
Maybe the Insurrection Act. He says he don't want to do it.
Yeah,
a lot of people are calling for the Insurrection Act, and by the way, many presidents have used it. George W. Bush used it, going all the way back to George Washington, and even I believe to some extent Obama used it in one thing, but Bush used it. I mean, Trump used a limited version of it in his first term, but basically it's to send in federal agents, an army. Not martial law, but it looks like martial law. They have to come in and control the city. I don't know if that's what's coming. I hope it don't come to that.
No.
I don't want to see civil war in our country.
I don't want to see that. I would say this place isn't Seattle and Portland yet. It certainly looks like it's on its way, but it's hard to watch.
Yeah. But we have to watch it. It's hard to watch, Sandy, but we have to watch it because let me tell you something. You ain't going to see that on your mainstream media. You're not going to be told that this is the level that it's at. And
you were right.
It's fueled.
You are correct.
And I'm not, listen, it is spiritual, but at the core of it is this absolute hatred for Donald Trump and hatred, yes, for the Christian morality standard.
Yes.
Sexual purity, life.
Sanctity of the family.
Sanctity of the family. That's what it's about.
All of it. All of it. And Michelle is mentioning the Civil War movie.
Our Michelle?
Okay. And has it been almost 2 years since we went to see it?
Are you kidding me?
I'm trying to remember how long ago it was.
Wow.
Yeah. It would have to be going on 2 years ago. And I had heard this term bantered around from Steve Quayle starting in 2017, maybe 2018. And he would boldly say in those days, and many of you would have heard this as well, civil war is coming to this country.
Wow.
I cannot tell you how that shook me up in those days because, as you all know, I was fighting that fight alone. He had not chosen to join in at that point. And I was like, I'm having to hear this.
I'm all in now, baby.
He's all in now. I was having to hear this and try to process this by myself. I'm like,
sorry.
Is he exaggerating? What is he talking about?
Wow.
Civil war in this country?
That's insane.
Thank you, Michelle. She said it's been 2 years. I figured it had been at least.
That is crazy. Somebody just said, I'll go back up to this, said, several people have said that they have seen reporting that a group of 6,000 anti-ICE are going to Minneapolis, and they are crazy groups in Philadelphia and New York City. This is going to get much worse.
Listen, these people are funded.
Oh, yeah, they're funded.
This is winter. It's cold. You've got to have a place to stay to get out of the elements. It's not like you're going to put a tent up, okay?
Right.
It's life and death. You've got to stay inside, at least during the nighttime. Go inside, warm up multiple times throughout the day.
All right, some people say, can the big picture do a recap of the movie Civil War? Let me just go back and say this. We pumped that movie up because of the trailer, and let me just say this, spoiler alert, it's one of the worst movies that I have ever seen. The movie was horrible. Okay, quality, production wise, acting was terrible.
The acting.
But it was full of stuff. It was full of programming.
Even though it was not a quality movie, I still encourage people then, and I would still encourage people now to watch the movie.
All right, so the synopsis is we are never told, you're never told in the movie what happened. But some major event happened. Now, listen to this narrative now. Remember, this was during the Biden administration. At that time, no one thought that Donald Trump could ever be president again. But, of course, now you look back on it and you see this was sort of a preemptive programming strike probably against doing everything they could do to keep him away from it.
I think it was also a preemptive strike to prepare minds in predictive programming of what
is happening right now.
We want to call this what's happening now,
Right
civil
now.
war,
Yeah.
because
You're right.
all of it just kind of desensitizes you a little, or at
Yep.
least introduces the thought into your mind the way Independence Day and Close Encounters did concerning aliens and UFOs.
Yeah. So in the movie, we're never told what happened, beginning or end, but something happened to cause the president to stay in office beyond being voted out. And he has some kind of extends a war act or whatever and keeps himself in office. Well, then it creates two different Americas.
Regions or whatever.
Yeah. And then there's the neutral zone and all of this. Well, all I'm going to say is the movie ends by, and I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this for you because you need to go. I'll try not to give it too many spoilers because I think some of you are going to want to watch it. But Washington, D.C. is attacked. And it ends by a very brutal ending of the dictator. And it was very, very, very obvious who that person was supposed to be. That was the only thing that was obvious to me.
I would say that tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, I would. To me, it was very obvious who it was.
Yes, I think they were trying to make it very obvious in the movie, in the script, and all of that, who they were trying to make you think about and think of.
Yeah. And I want to comment on, and I think it's a good comment that I saw somebody making just a while ago, that we as Christians have to be the example to not become enraged.
Yes.
And I want you to know that I'm mad, but I'm not enraged.
No.
And I appreciate that comment. And I want to agree with that comment that we follow Jesus.
Yes.
But we also understand that we are watchmen. We are watchmen on the wall. And we are, if not us, who? And that does, I'm not talking about violence. We're not called to violence.
We're not trying to gin people
We're
up.
not trying. We're just trying to expose.
Right.
And if you remember, I've said multiple times, I'm going to say it again. It is a physical thing that's happening in the physical world, but it is tied to the spirit realm.
Yes.
I'm telling you right now, this is the days of Noah. When you go back and study the days of Noah, you go back and study Genesis chapter 6, you will not just find talking about Nephilim and giants. You will read in the Bible, in Genesis chapter 6, in those days, violence was in their hearts and violence continually.
Every thought was evil.
Every thought was evil. Now, I'm going to blow some of y'all's minds. Some of you have heard me teach this before, and maybe you hadn't heard it before. Go get your Bible out. Go back to Genesis 6, study the condition before the flood, and read all the way down to Genesis chapter 6 to where it gets to the place where it says the word violence. Then get your old-fashioned Strong's Concordance out. Or if you've got a digital Bible that lets you shows you the original Hebrew word, you will be shocked to find out that the word violence in your English translation Bible is the Hebrew word Hamas.
There you go.
Hamas, Hamas. Hamas means violence. And I want to remind you of, if you didn't think this was spiritual, when no matter how you feel about Israel, no matter how you feel about all this, when October 7th happened and they took those hostages and then they finally had to start releasing those hostages because they had been bombed so much, what did they do? They paraded them out on a stage and made a fun of them while they put a 6-finger, you can Google it and find it yourself, a banner with a 6-fingered fist above them, behind the hostages and behind Hamas, which is the sign of Nephilim, and in their language and in English and in Hebrew was the words, "We are the flood."
Right.
I mean, that is a slap in the face. That is saying, yes, the same spirits that survived all that happened in the flood that are here in this region of Gaza are coming back again.
Yeah, you're not just.
That's the world we live in right now.
You're not just signaling. You're defiantly screaming to the world, "This is what it is. You know, look out, get ready. We're coming at you with this. This is who we are." So
the movie that we're talking about here is, what is the movie? It's just called Civil War.
Civil War.
Civil War. Oh man, listen, I'm telling you that I'm not trying to sell a book here. We were talking about this earlier. I am not good at selling things.
He's terrible.
I'm terrible at it.
Absolutely horrible.
And I don't ever really want to be real good at it, to be honest with you. But the truth is, I do believe God dropped this book in my spirit at the time that he did, and it is going to come out in the most time. I couldn't have asked for it to come out at a better time. It's coming out in April. By the time we get to April, what in the world is this world going to look like?
Exactly.
The days of Noah are here.
Nephilim are walking the earth again.
Hey, Gabe's in here. Gabe Perot. I love old Gabe
That's
Perot.
what I saw. Hey, Gabe.
Come on. Gabe's one of my endorsers. He says it's a great book, man. Come on. You got to get a copy.
Thanks.
By the way, you also got to get a copy of his book as well. And Gabe will be on our show very soon, man. I love you, Gabe. You and Allie. Can't wait to meet your new baby.
Yes.
Y'all are so amazing. Says, have you considered doing a documentary on your book like Jonathan Kahn, Delane McCurry?
Good idea.
Good idea, Delane. Oh, by the way, breaking news on Delane McCurry. Delane McCurry is also going to be a part of our Big Picture Prophecy Conference. I don't even know if he knew it. I might be breaking the news to him. But
we've talked about it.
No, I'm just
You're
kidding.
being silly.
On Sunday night with Paul Begley, we're going to do a roundtable discussion with my lifelong best friend who is deep in understanding of Scripture. He'll be there with me and Sandy and Paul
our
Begley.
new best friend.
Yeah.
Paul and Heidi Begley.
Exactly. And we only know Paul because of Delane.
That's right.
He's
That is the truth.
He introduced us to him. So
that is the truth. And here's a funny story. Oh God.
Oh Lord.
So this was in 2017, and Delane had already told you about Paul Begley, and I'd already heard this too. And then he's talking to me about Paul Begley, and he's like, you and me have got to work together. We got to get Paul to this church. We gotta convince Larry.
Yes, right. That's the truth. Y'all were talking about a prophecy conference.
Delane.
You did.
Delane.
That's what y'all said to me. We need to have a prophecy conference.
We're going to gang up on Larry to get him to agree to meet this man, Paul Begley, and get Paul Begley to this church to have a prophecy conference. And listen, it's only 9 years later, but it's finally happening.
Y'all need to go check out Gabe's channel, Gabe Proy. You see it at Gabe Proy. Y'all, the guy's got like almost maybe over 2 million, right at 2 million followers.
Yes.
Puts out quality stuff, and he's a man of God. He's preached at my church. He's going to come back again. I got to get out there and DFW and see y'all. Let's get back into the news, y'all. Iran is now threatening to resume executions and warns of an all-out war if the United States steps in during the brutal crackdown. So watch this. Iran officials say at least 5,000 demonstrators have been slaughtered in the streets for speaking out against the authoritarian rule that has gripped the country for nearly 50 years. Now, I'm going to tell you what I've heard. I don't know what you've heard, but I have heard that this number could be close to 20,000.
Oh, yeah. I've heard it all over the place. 12,000, 16,000. I've already heard 20,000. So, yeah, what is it?
Insane.
What is the actual number?
The actual number. Unbelievable.
And since the power, the internet, and the cell phones were conveniently not working, will we ever know?
Yeah, exactly. So these are just horrible images coming in. A new report claims 16,500 to 18,000 may have been killed in the brutal crackdown, with most victims under 30 years of age. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has blamed the deaths on the United States and Israel-linked terrorists and rioters' actions, which Iran's judiciary said on Sunday constitute Mohareb, which is an Islamic term meaning to wage war on God, which carries the death penalty. A series of actions have been identified as Mohareb, which is among the most severe Islamic punishments, which means they are going to publicly execute several in the streets if they can, is what they are saying now. So a lot of people are asking the question, where is the response of that Donald Trump had threatened? But what I'm hearing, and I'm not a Trump apologist here, but what I'm hearing is that it is still coming and that they are moving assets there to finish the job, whatever that means.
Well, what we almost immediately heard were that, what is the aircraft they said had left almost immediately, and all this turning ships around, all this. I hope so. And for what's already happened, I mean, I hate the term, we're not the police of the world.
Right.
And it's just a gray area.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to do something.
Yeah.
We can't stand by and watch these people be brutally murdered in and all of this. But where's the line?
But see, here's the thing.
I'm a little.
I'm on both sides
blurry.
too. I'm blurred too. But here's the thing: no one else will do anything except America. And quite frankly, even America wouldn't without Donald Trump. And the truth is, this,
I don't think
that no one would have done. And by the way, there would never even have been the uprising if what's her name, Kamala was president. If Kamala was president, we wouldn't even have this discussion.
I think I can agree with you on both of those points, but I don't know.
But listen,
there's not a handbook.
A lot of these are kids. They have just said, you know what? We're tired of this. We're going to risk our life.
We've had enough access to other parts of the world to see that everybody doesn't have to live under this oppression. I get that. Maybe you get a hope and a dream of some freedom, of not having to live in such tight, clamped down, closed off, just living in fear every day of your life conditions, and you're just going to stand up and try to take it. I applaud that.
Yeah.
And I want to be a part. I want to be a part of doing something good, but the gray areas make me a little nervous.
Yeah, me too. You know, we can't extend ourselves around the world, put out every fire that's going on around the world. We can't do that. But there is just this deep question of what is the responsibility when you see human beings being just slaughtered? What is that? I don't know the answer other than
I don't either.
Then the Bible is. I mean, I think not the Bible, but I think it's pretty clear that no one would do anything without at least American support.
Yeah.
I mean, America is reemerging as a superpower. And in the sense that, you know, by the way, this is the head of the snake. This is the head of everybody agrees when it comes to Islamic terrorism, the head of the Islamic terrorist state.
Yeah, when you look up state-sponsored terrorism,
it's Iran.
It's Iran for sure.
It's Iran. I mean, so yeah, man, this is tough times, y'all.
Yep. Brace yourself for the next longest big picture.
Yeah.
It's for tonight's show.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've probably gone a little long on these.
Yeah. Well, look, this right here, there ain't no hate here. This is all love.
It's all love.
LarryRagland.com is all love. I think that was binoculars.
Love.
Yeah, however how you do that.
Love.
People's going to say, they threw up the Illuminati. I knew it. That's why he wears all black.
I don't think the Illuminati looks anything like whatever that was. But
hey, you know what I did? I did this one time. I did something like "I love you" or something like Elvis one time.
Oh,
and when I did that, I mean, it was like comment section. I knew it. I'm like, please, man. The remnant is rising. Get your free gift and go there and get your free gift. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to go over to events. And I want you to sign up for that prophecy conference that we've been talking about. But you scroll on down, you'll see some other things we got coming up. But right there. Come on. Don't you want to go to the Holy Land with Larry and Sandy Ragland and the Big Picture family? I looked at the list. Several of you on the Big Picture family have already registered. You're saving your money. You're getting ready to come. Several from our church, our online church, our in-person church. It's going to be, Sandy, not only the book coming out at the right time. Can you imagine of all years?
What are you trying to say? I'm not going to be able to sleep for like the next 6 or 8 months of my life? Is that what you're trying to say?
Probably, yeah. And to lead our church family and our online Big Picture family to stand in these holy places. Man, I preached Sunday at my church on the gates of hell when Jesus stood in Caesarea Philippi at that cave and said, the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. I can't wait to stand there again.
Yeah.
And preach that right there. Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to have to say,
go ahead.
The entire trip to Israel we did in 2023 was really great and really fabulous. But being there at that place, it really just brought the Bible to life for me.
You can't describe
I'm
it.
standing there. You know, when you say Temple of Pan, the pictures that you showed yesterday during your sermon, it did not do justice to the entire place because there's the cave with the rock where the sacrifices were made, but also in the hill are all these little alcoves where statues were placed. Now they're no longer there, but the alcoves are there where they would have been, and there's the flat place overlooking the cave, and it's crazy. If I had known,
wow,
what?
I'm sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
If I had known at that time, at that moment, that we were right below
Mount Hermon. Because neither one of us really got that at that point.
I would have started climbing the mountain myself so I could get to the top. But I didn't know we were there. I didn't realize that we would not have the opportunity on that particular trip to circle around and go to the top of the mountain, and that the UN facility was there. I mean, that would have been...
I want to encourage everybody to watch my Wednesday night Bible study that's coming up, because I'm going to preach what I preached at my church Sunday on another level as well, like I typically do on the Wednesday nights. And several people are commenting that they love Sunday service. They watch Sunday service. You can go back and watch that. But Wednesday night, I'm going to break it down right here on the channel and tell you some things about Mount Hermon and about that area that it so ties into this. But when I said wow a while ago, the reason I said that is I'm just going to pray right now. So Tammy, and I'm only saying this because you put it out there. She says, I want to go to Israel, but I can't get a passport because I was in D.C. on J6. I had no idea that if you were just there, you can't get a passport.
And I had seen her several times during tonight, and I was going. I'm sure you don't know. My mom's name was Elaine.
Oh.
And I saw your name, Tammy Elaine, and it just made me think of my mom, obviously. And I hate that for you. We'll be praying. Big picture family, let's pray. And it's not just about going to Israel.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had a lot of frustration.
Tammy, I'm going to believe that it works out.
Irritation.
I believe it's going to work out.
Because you decided to be in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. So we're gonna believe that is cleared up for you in the name of Jesus.
Going back to Iran real quick, I don't know if any of you heard this, but Iran state TV got hacked for a good reason, or depending on where you stand on this, but several Iranian state television channels carried on Badr satellite were hacked on Sunday, broadcasting footage of protests, along with calls by Iran's exiled prince Reza Pahlavi for people to join demonstrations and for military forces to side with the protesters. So this is a screenshot that somebody took. This is, I don't know if this is the grandson or the son of the Shah that was the last one that was in charge there. But this is what it looked like on their satellite.
فرصت دارند به مردم بدهمندند و یاور ملت باشند یا اینکه همدستی با قاتلان ملت را انتخاب کنند.
So you changed the channel. It's just like in a movie. Once again,
took over the entire thing.
They took over the whole thing. Every channel had the same thing on it, and the regime couldn't stop it. And this is the son of the grandson, I can't remember, of the Shah, and 50 years ago that was ran out and that's been in exile all this time.
He's 80. This guy probably is his son.
Is his son then? Okay.
Looks like he's old enough to be a son.
Yeah. Wow. It says that his exiled crown prince, for people to join. So, so look, it looks like, I can't even believe I'm saying, but it looks like the Iranian regime's days are numbered in some way, shape, or form.
I hope so. I mean, those demonstrations, those poor protesters that were attacked, it all seemed extremely hopeful, and there is still hope. These people need to get some of this oppression off of them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to use the word revolution, but
that's what it is.
They need some big changes over there.
Well, speaking of big changes, Donald Trump is not moving on from Greenland.
No, he's not.
Not backing down from his push to take over Greenland, citing security concerns and criticizing Denmark's inability to protect the Arctic territory. The president posting on Truth Social last night, NATO has been telling Denmark for 20 years that you have to get the Russian threat away from Greenland. Unfortunately, Denmark has been unable to do anything about it. Now it is time, and it will be done. Joining me now is former NSC Chief of Staff under President Trump, Alex Gray. Alex, good morning. Great to see you. So the president is, of course, dead set on acquiring Greenland and even announcing tariffs on European countries. And those European countries are dead set against this, and they're going to be holding this emergency summit today over what the heck to do. So what happens next?
Well, thanks for having me, Carly. I think our European friends really need to step back from this performative domestic politics that they're engaged in and realize that this is about a core interest of the United States. Greenland's a part of the Western Hemisphere. It's been under threat by Chinese and Russian aggressive activity over the last, as the president said, several decades. Our friends in Denmark haven't done anything about it. And the president was actually on the path last week with this meeting that Vice President Vance chaired to have a really successful path forward where we were talking directly to our Greenlandic friends and our Danish allies about a path forward for the United States to have more ultimate control over Greenland. And then the Europeans decided to showboat, send in this absurd contingent of troops to act like they were going to stop some sort of crazy American invasion. As you know, Carly, we have unlimited access militarily to Greenland as it is. There's nothing to invade. The question here is, how do we protect the future of Greenland from a Chinese or Russian long-term, some sort of long-term Chinese or Russian influence operation? This is a very, very silly thing the Europeans are doing, and I hope they'll back down before they damage the relationship further.
Well, Alex, on that contingent of troops, plus you mentioned Russia.
So yeah, we gotta rapid fire some things here about Greenland. As in addition to him saying it's going to be done now, he's now announcing tariffs for 8 countries. As Greenland standoff continues, he says that he will charge a 10% import tax starting in February on goods from 8 European nations because of their opposition to American control of Greenland. President Donald Trump says Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Finland would face the tariff. The tariffs would increase to 25% on June 1st, would continue until a deal was reached for the U.S. to purchase Greenland. I don't know how real this is.
I don't know if comparing this, I don't think comparing this to The Boy Who Cried Wolf is fully an accurate comparison, but this whole tariff threat and talk of tariffs and throwing the word tariff around, it's kind of crazy. It's getting kind of old. At what point is it not really effective at all anymore?
Well, look, I get what you're saying, but apparently it's been effective.
But
it's been effective.
Are you going to enforce every time you say this and bring this up?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's talk, like you said, and he ends up making a deal. But
maybe it works. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think to some extent it has worked. I think it has worked to some extent. But here's a couple of other interesting things about Greenland. Surprise, surprise. Peter Thiel, Sam Altman, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates have all invested in AI-driven rare earth drilling in Greenland.
What are you saying?
Uh-huh.
Are you saying they're pushing him in the back?
Mm-hmm. Billionaire tech figures, including Peter Thiel, Sam Altman, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates, are linked to investments connected to AI-driven mineral exploration, mainly through companies like Cobalt Metals. The company uses AI to analyze geological data and identify promising locations for rare earth and other critical minerals. These materials are essential for electric vehicles, clean energy systems, data centers, and advanced AI hardware, which is why Greenland has become a strategic focus due to its large untapped reserves and rising geopolitical importance. Look at this. Gates, Bezos, and Altman have invested in rare earth exploration. This is Cobalt Metals drilling in the dirt.
Are you saying
Greenland.
cobalt and the name of that company is Kobold? What are you saying?
I'm saying cobalt, but it's Kobold. It's Kobold. I was reading it wrong. It's Kobold.
This is the name of a company.
It's the name of the company, Kobold.
And they are trying to mine
Well, it says just rare minerals that's needed.
But is lithium, did you say lithium? Is that one of them?
Let's see. It just says critical minerals.
Okay.
But look at this. Peter Thiel, which of course we know he's got a lot of stuff going on, and he's okay. Peter Thiel is linked to a different project called Praxis, which aims to build a private freedom city in Greenland. Is Greenland becoming more interesting now? Is it making a little bit more sense?
Is that code for 15-minute city? What?
Either that or a completely AI-controlled city.
Oh.
The renewed attention comes as Donald Trump again calls for Greenland to be a national security priority. So, yeah, there's more going on than what you're being told, and it continues. Denmark has a dirty little secret about population control in Greenland. Have you heard about this?
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Denmark.
Let me look at that flag. Okay.
It's two half-colored circles and then the lines.
Mm-hmm.
So Denmark has controlled Greenland since 1721. Indigenous people lived there for thousands of years before that. In 1953, the world's largest island, which it is the world's largest island, transitioned from colony to become a part of the Kingdom of Denmark. Today, its domestic affairs are considered self-rule, while Denmark is responsible for Greenland's foreign policy, defense, and currency. But with regard to Greenland and the women who have lived there, Denmark has a dirty little secret centered on population control, a relatively recent birth control practice that was forced on thousands of women, for which the country only apologized in September 2025. Listen to this.
Without knowing it, when I was, they have told me to come to the hospital in my hometown, and I said in Greenland. Then I was 12 or 13, and second time they told me to come again when I was 14 or 15, and I didn't know they had IUD me.
They IUD'd her.
Baby. I have many struggles in my tummy, a lot of surgeries, a lot of complications. I cannot have a baby. I lost my baby. So it's genocide of Denmark. And they say it's not genocide. They make an excuse and say it's a cultural genocide. They make it pretty. No one must have to make pretty things like that. It's genocide. I lost.
Genocide. Now listen to the details here.
So they're saying, would you consider that forcible?
That's exactly what it was.
Forcible birth control?
They put IUDs in their bodies of these teenage girls, what they thought was being done for other procedures. And then they secretly put these IUDs in there and sterilized them.
Well, an IUD doesn't necessarily sterilize you. That is a birth control.
Right, but they did something beyond that.
They must have.
Yeah.
And she said they genocided her baby or, basically caused her to have a miscarriage or whatever. Here's my question. It's highly strange and unorthodox to take young teenage girls in for any kind of procedure like this. Why didn't somebody stand up and say, hey, time out. Wait, what are we doing here?
Here's the thing. Yeah, the people within the government should have done that. But what I'm trying to say is they're saying the parents and the kids did not know it was being done.
Dear God.
Why is this not being talked about? So what's this? She was indigenous.
She looks Inuit, maybe. And I know she's not completely Inuit, but are all the population, do they look similar? Dark hair, dark eyes?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the culture or anything of this area.
Now watch this. It says this independent research released a report that followed a 2-year investigation. The investigation found that Denmark, from 66 to 92, forced sterilization on more than 4,500 women. On that island, that's a lot of people. Because that's a very small population.
Yeah.
In girls in Greenland.
As young as 12 years old.
12 years old. Many, if not most, were never told. That's insane to me.
So
it goes on, wait a minute. It goes on to say revelation of this birth control program only came to light in 22 through a podcast called whatever that is. While the revelations first emerged 3 years ago, Denmark's prime minister only issued an apology to Greenland in the fall of 25. This is what it says. We cannot change what happened, but we can take responsibility. On behalf of Denmark, I would like to say sorry. While granting that the women and the girls injured by the program had experienced both physical and psychological harm.
Yeah, I would guess
That's
so.
insane.
Why would you do that to yourself? Look at Japan. They're going backwards.
Right.
For different reasons. Because they're so ostracized. Their young people are so technologically dependent and interested, and they've become awkward. They don't want to take on spouses and life partners, and they surely don't want to be procreating and having to be concerned about taking care of the next generation. So now their population is trending, or will be trending, in reverse.
Exactly.
So how deeply did this damage the population growth of this country?
Not only that, watch this, and then we'll move on. This program in Greenland is not the last time Denmark has found a way to use ghoulish birth control practices to address a societal issue. In Denmark today, we reported on this about a year ago, the number and proportion of people with Down syndrome are vastly lower than other countries. You might think that Denmark has found a cure for Downs. No, that's not the case. Instead, the country has instituted universal screening among pregnant women for early detection of Down syndrome among their babies.
So they can terminate?
Yes. In 2019, in a country of over 6 million people, only 18 were born with Down syndrome in Denmark. This demonstrates the
18 children amongst 6 million people. I don't know what number or percentage of those would be falling in the childbearing and, birthing children. It would certainly be well below 6 million total, but still, when we know that Downs, autistic, and all of these different categories are on the rise, and you're telling me 18?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is something that I would say, the reason I'm showing you this is I would not be surprised as the negotiations go forward, if from the administration, maybe not from President Donald Trump's mouth, but from somebody like Stephen Miller or somebody like that, to push back on Denmark.
You mean to bring that to light?
So
the rest of the world can talk about it?
Yeah, because they're like, you really want to be controlled by this country that, look what they did. I wouldn't be surprised.
How could you take a precious life?
Absolutely.
Oh, goodness, Lord.
I agree.
Jesus, touch me and help me to get through
All right,
this
so you know what? You know what began today?
Yeah.
The World Economic Forum. That we started this, we started covering this together. I started my channel, I think I was doing the channel for a little less than a year. And then I talked to you into coming in on Mondays. And I had to pull you kicking and screaming.
Would you really say that's an accurate description of how it went down?
You had no desire to ever be on a camera. And I think you've turned out really good. But one of the first things that we started covering was the World Economic Forum. And it was one of the first things we did a deep dive in. Now, we actually have a mutual friend that is there on the ground that we're trying to work out to get them this week. By the way, it's going to go up all this week. So be looking for several World Economic Forum videos from me. But global leaders gather in Davos, Switzerland for the annual World Economic Forum. First one without Klaus Schwab in its full capacity.
How many which number is this? How long have they been having this gathering?
I don't know. Maybe it will say.
I mean, I know it's decades.
No, it's definitely decades. World leaders, corporate executives, and figures from civil society are convening in Davos, Switzerland this week for the World Economic Forum. All eyes are almost certain to be on one high-profile ranking guest.
You think?
None other than President Donald Trump, who plans to attend with a large delegation, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Steve Witkoff, the special envoys to the Middle East. Topics of discussion at Davos, according to U.S. and European analysts and former policymakers interviewed ahead of the event, are likely to include Russia's war with Ukraine, prospects for global trade and markets, the probability of China invading Taiwan, and the risk of Middle East flare-up caused by recent uprising in Iran. Many of those issues may well hinge on one central question: what will Mr. Trump do next? Holland, who is the president of France from 12 to 17, appeared that briefly overlapped with Mr. Trump's first term, offered his thoughts and predictions, blah, blah, blah. Donald Trump is the president of the United States, and any U.S. president has influence over the world. It is important to note that Donald Trump does not wage war. He uses the threat of force, but he limits the actual use of force, he goes on to say. Now, I want to do a little deep dive here go directly to weforum.org that everyone can do on their own. Mm-hmm. And this is where I always go to see what their topic's going to be. It was very, very interesting to me this year that compared to the other years that I went there, which they were blatantly all about climate, all this about the world is ending, blah, blah, blah. It's still there. But the open, blatant statement of it has been sort of wiped from the website. This is their theme, a spirit of dialogue. World leaders from government, businesses, and civic leaders in academia will convene in Davos to engage in a forward-looking discussion. So these are live updates here. I'm going to click on it and see what's happening here right now. Live from Davos, what to know day one. Let's see what this is. Let me mute that music. Don't flag me. World Economic Forum's annual meeting takes place in Davos in January. We already knew that. This is the city, which, by the way, is the highest mountain in inhabited mountain, not the highest mountain, but the highest inhabited mountain in all of Europe is Davos. And we talk a lot about the high places in the Bible. And of course, we know that in Switzerland, on one side is Davos, on the other side is CERN.
Is Switzerland
50 years ago? That's what
in connection to France? Is it north and west of France?
France is here and Switzerland is here.
Okay, so it's north and east of France?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. It will revolve around 5 key questions. How can we cooperate in a more contested world? How can we better invest in people? And how can we build prosperity with planetary boundaries? The annual meeting will draw almost 3,000 participants, including more than 50 heads of state and leaders from across the political spectrum, along with CEOs and academics, and activists, artists, labor leaders, and prominent youth voices. Cross-sector dialogue starts with diverse voices, from young leaders to world experts from North and South and public and private, blah, blah, blah. So the next one is the schedule. So if you want to do this on your own, you go to WEF Forum or worldeconomicforum.org and click on I forget what it's called. It's actually just called meetings. And it will give you all the days. They started pre-meetings back on January 8th, actually, just starting to get ready. But it actually kicked off today, the 19th. But the reason I got the 21st highlighted is because if you go into the search and type in TRUMP, it will show you.
Everybody calm down. It's not like he's going to roll up in there and grandstand and try to take the thing over.
Yeah, we ain't even ready for it.
Come on.
They are not ready.
That's not going to happen.
Dude,
surely.
You remember when he was president the first time he went and lit him up?
I remember the stir he caused when he was inaugurated last year in this term.
And he did it on video and lit him up.
Yes.
All right. So the special address by Donald Trump, President of the United States, will be on Wednesday the 21st, Davos time. And I did the calculations, 1430 Central Europe time actually converts to 7 a.m. Central time.
Okay.
So 8 a.m.
That's convenient.
Eastern. Yeah.
We'll watch it with the we'll just flip over the local news and catch that speech.
Oh, no. We will watch it on the big picture together.
I thought you said, did you say 7 a.m. or p.m.?
7 a.m.
Okay.
I'll be up 7 a.m. and I'll be live.
Okay.
Just
let's do it.
Just saying, I'll be live. I mean, you may not be out of bed yet, but I'll be up.
I'm not sure if I want to say, let's do it.
Yeah, so I'm saying I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Happen for me, that means I got to wake up at what time?
Exactly. So
Cranky Pants here.
Yeah.
You might not be ready for a morning show with Miss Cranky Pants.
Oh, I didn't say that. I would never.
Oh, you were thinking it.
I would never say it.
You were thinking.
And also this week, and these are the kind of things that concern me about President Donald Trump, is this Board of Peace. He has unveiled the new International Board for Gaza, the World of Peace. And I'm going to rapid fire through this, but this is interesting. The appointed executive board members are Marco Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. We expected them. But then you bring in former UK Prime Minister Sir Tony Blair.
Mhm.
Tony Blair is New World Order to the core, okay? Investor Mark Rowan, World Bank Group President Ajay Banja, Robert Gabriel. And it is rumored that these, not just rumored, but let me say this and I'll tell you what's rumored. The Gaza Board of Peace, 60 countries were invited for a fee of $1 billion each.
What?
Yeah. The project to rebuild and run the Gaza Strip gives broad powers to the U.S. president, but Israel objects to the composition of the new body. The president has put the price that countries must pay for a permanent seat on the Gaza Board of Peace at $1 billion. The White House has invited at least 60 world leaders to join a body that Washington initially linked to the resolution of the War of the Palestinian Enclave, but which takes the form of a global assembly that would have Trump as its leader, according to a draft of the founding charter to which Reuters and Bloomberg have access. The charter, which the U.S. has sent to the countries invited to participate, say that Trump will have the right to decide who aspires to join the club, when and where their meetings and votes will be held. He will also have the final say of the decisions of the board, described in the draft as an entity to, quote, promote stability, restore dependable and lawful governance, and secure enduring peace in areas affected and threatened by conflict. Notice it's no longer just about Gaza. It seems like they're starting it about Gaza, but they're creating a peace board for the world. I think I read about that somewhere. When they all come together in a global government.
And it also is like access for sale. I mean, what is this?
Yeah. Well, they say they go on to say that you will have they'll be able to be on there and they'll have to rotate off every 3 years. But if you want a permanent seat, like at the United Nations, when you have a permanent veto power, if you want to always be on it every year, you got to give $1 billion.
Yeah.
And that gives you a permanent seat. You don't get rotated off for $1 billion. The Board of Peace was first touted in the 20-point plan that Washington devised in September to end the conflict in Gaza. And then it goes on and on and on. So that sounds a little end times prophecy-ish to me.
Hey, I think I told you last week, don't get comfortable.
Yeah, don't get comfortable.
Whatever you, start thinking, okay, this is good. Brace yourself.
Yeah.
It may change by next week.
Yeah. So when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction shall come upon them as travaileth upon a woman. Speaking of wars and rumors of wars, and this is sad here. Ukraine winter despair. Kiev only has half the electricity it needs to function, according to the mayor of Kiev. Look at this. That's only car lights.
It's pitiful.
It's pitiful. Kiev has started suffering like the front lines. As the Russia-Ukraine war nears its 4th year, we've come to the point where Moscow forces combined missile drone strikes that have degraded enemy power generation and electrical grids so much that they can't get it fixed before a new wave of attacks hit.
Oh, don't worry. Kyivstar, they're going to come right in and restore Kiev.
Yeah, you're already talking about investing into it. We got that right there. We got the little note from a couple of weeks ago. Kiev is receiving only half the electricity it needs. The mayor said that the city of 3.6 million people require 1,700. Let's see what this says. Requires 1,700 megawatts, but only half of that is currently available.
Yeah. So what do you do? I mean, this is not like the Southeast and Alabama where snow is an anomaly. Down here, it's you could go years and years and not see snow, but they're going to see it every winter, and it could get really bad. And
Well, they can't heat. I mean, it's not just that they can't see; they can't heat.
Can't heat.
Now, hopefully, they've got wood burners or something like that. But this is just sad. I mean, the world is
looking
in a
like the
difficult place.
Bolshevik Revolution, where you break your furniture down and burn it for wood so you can stay warm.
Sad but true. Speaking of more sad things, before we get into some not so sad things, a record 388 million Christians now face persecution worldwide. Open Door says a record. Once again, of Christian persecution around the world. 388 million Christians face persecution as it were a risk of violence worldwide over the past year, 8 million more than in previous periods. There is a war on Christianity, y'all.
Yeah.
This is once again a record year, noted Christian Nani, the Italian director of Open Doors, which published its World Watch list in 2026. The latest annual persecution report, quote, of these 388 million, I want you to listen closely, 201 million are women or girls, while 110 million are minors under the age of 15.
Did you say 201
million are women or girls, and 110 million are minors under the age of 15. These are the Christians that are being persecuted for being a Christian. Open Door reported that 1 in 7 Christians faced persecution and discrimination for their faith, based on the data of September 24th through September 25. For the 388 million believers worldwide, more than the entire U.S. population, following Jesus isn't just difficult, it's becoming impossible without divine intervention.
Yeah, it's a matter of life and death.
Y'all, I'm getting emotional because we're in the end times. I mean, this is every day it becomes more and more real. The Bible becomes more and more real every day. If you do not have a biblical worldview, you are not going to be able to understand anything that's happening right now.
Right.
It's too chaotic. It's too insane. You just think it's just, people's just lost their minds. No, this is demonic. This is an attack on God.
Yes.
Now listen to this. Of the 4,849 Christians killed for their faith, 3,490 were from one nation, Nigeria. Listen to that. Out of 4,849 people killed for their faith, 3,490 were killed from Nigeria. Where is the military response to help those people? Where is the world coming to their aid? That's insane.
That area is so consistently and so thoroughly attacked.
Yeah, it is.
There's got to be a little bit more to that story than what we can realize here, and maybe we will unfold it over time. But
it's accelerating. This is accelerating. Everything's accelerating. This is your acceleration and beyond. Everything's accelerating. North Korea tops the list of the 50 nations with the most severe persecution. The authoritarian single-party communist state is, quote, is arguably the most dangerous place on earth to follow Jesus, end quote. If discovered in North Korea, Christians face imprisonment in notorious labor camps with little hope of release or immediate execution, often extending to family members. While church buildings displayed in the capital Pyongyang might suggest a degree of tolerance, this is all propaganda. Christianity has no place in North Korea, where homage must be directed one way only, toward the Kim regime. Conditions worsened further in recent years. North Korea is using AI against Christians. It's using artificial intelligence to identify suspicious behavior patterns to determine if someone is a Christian. Wow. Despite these dangers, the underground church in North Korea is alive. Open Doors quoted a North Korean believer as saying, it worships not with sound, but with whispered prayers and memorized scriptures. Come on, Jesus. Believers continue to follow Christ with quiet courage, deep faith, and a willingness to give everything for the sake of the gospel. At least 400,000 people are believed to be devoted Christians in North Korea. Glory to God. Wow.
Can you imagine living 24 hours a day in absolute fear?
Because you love Jesus. And that's your crime. That's your crime. Insane.
Woo.
And we complain that our church, the church that we love is you have to take 30 minutes to get there, or you got to sniffle, or maybe at work they won't let you read your Bible at the break table, so therefore you're persecuted.
Or that you have so many opportunities to go to the house of God for regular service, revival service, conference, and we pass those up. And we just throw that opportunity away. Don't even
look at
care.
these people. Look, I'm gonna get on a tirade right now. I'm gonna make some people mad, and I hope you don't leave us because of this. But these people that say things like, "I love God, but I don't love the church, and I love His people. His people are a pitiful representation of Him." I get that. But listen to these people. These people are meeting underground because they see the power of the gathering. Yes. And when you study
risking their lives to come together, risking their lives to try to hold on to a printed Bible.
Yeah.
Risking their lives to try to share the gospel with someone else.
And by the way, we talk a lot about Somalia because what's happening in Minnesota. But look at what it says here. Somalia remains among the most dangerous places to practice Christianity, ranking second for the fourth consecutive year. Somali Christians are among the most extremely persecuted in the world. It says, listen to this. It says, you could be sitting in a cafeteria enjoying your meal and somebody could come and attempt to decapitate you for being a Christian. Wake up, church. Wake up. Yeah. These are the days of Noah.
They are.
This is not about a book. This is about the words of Jesus. This is violence. This is man's heart is evil continually.
Yes. Are you watching the time, sir?
Is it 8:54 already?
It is. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never thought that this would be the relief, but here we go.
The Supernatural AI Update.
Uncle Jimmy!
Brought to you by Uncle Jimmy.
It's the Supernatural AI Update. We're going to rapid fire because we're not going to go much longer here. But
he says that.
Yeah. Hey, get your paper ready. Here we go. The nominees are going to begin.
Paper and pen
already. Stanford residents, researchers, has built an AI that can predict 130 diseases from watching you one night while you're asleep. One night. This AI model, watch this, can predict more than 130 conditions, including dementia, heart attacks, Parkinson's disease, using data from a single overnight sleep recording. It was trained on a model of 600,000 hours of clinical sleep data from roughly 65,000 participants. It analyzes brain waves, heart activity, breathing patterns, muscle signals. And when these body signals fall out of sync, such as the brain entering a deep sleep while the heart remains highly active, the system treats it as a potential early warning sign. So now what they're going to do is put you to sleep. And don't you trust this?
Oh, yeah.
I just trust it so much.
They have only good things in mind for you.
So that's got to be a nominee right there. That's got to be a nominee. As we continue, hey, this is encouraging. Elon's back in the news once again.
Does he ever come out of the news?
Never does. The Pentagon has just signed a major deal to use Elon Musk's Grok AI across all defense operations.
Excited to announce the next frontier AI model company to join GenAI.mil, and that is Grok from xAI, which will go live later this month. So I want to thank you, Elon, and your incredible team for leaning forward with us on this as well. Very soon we will have the world's leading AI models on every unclassified and classified network throughout our department. Long overdue. But today we're excited.
Long overdue to have AI literally looking and analyzing on all sections of the Pentagon and the military.
With them and what is Thiel's company?
Peter Thiel, he has it's not Palantir, is it?
Palantir. He's Palantir.
He's Palantir.
With the two of those?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, we're in good hands, y'all. Everything's good. Everything's good.
And you know, Peter Thiel probably is the evil mastermind parading himself as Americana. But that other guy, Alex, whatever.
Oh, he looks like something out straight out of a Bond movie. He's the evil scientist look.
Yes.
He looks like an evil scientist.
When I see him, I'm thinking of someone standing over the table creating Frankenstein.
And literally going, this is all mine.
This is brilliant.
Brilliant.
Why is it always the Russians?
I don't know.
Not the Russians, the German.
The German.
The German voice.
So when you see this next image, I'm going to tell you, I want to ask everybody in the live chat, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to put your comments in the live chat.
Okay.
When you see this, what is the first toy from your childhood? If you're anywhere near, don't say it yet.
I'm not going to say
If you're anywhere near my age, our age, when you look at this, what do you think? Okay. 10 seconds. Put it in the live chat. What are you looking at?
Who's going to be first? Come on,
a real life version of
go.
10,
Where are you
9,
Where are you delaying?
8,
Where are you delaying?
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're on a little delay, so let's see if we get one.
We understand there's a delay.
There's a little bit of delay. Operation?
No.
Not operation. Not operation. Come on. Is there anybody going to get it? Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it?
This is so easy.
Come on. Rock 'em, sock 'em. Yes.
Woo-hoo!
Cookie, got it.
That is correct.
Rock 'em, sock 'em.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. So man attempts to fight 10 humanoid robots at once. And I think we could probably predict where this is going. It looks like he's doing good at first, but watch this.
What are these, the baby versions?
The baby, and then Big Daddy comes in. Look, he's piling them up. He's like, look at me. I'm the man. Then he fights Big Daddy. And then they get back up. Watch this. Oh, shot to the leg. Oh, nailed him. Knock him out.
我还没有输，我膝盖受伤了，没有办法灵活的闪躲。
The little dude says, I'm back.
我的膝盖，
Oh, did he? Oh, he starts kicking him. Oh, my Lord.
我认输，我认输。记得
Look
关
at
注
the robot. Look at the robot.
You want some more? Wow.
Dude, what in the world are we looking at? This is insane.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Crazy.
It continues.
Okay.
In China, always China, they now literally have AI-powered robocops doing traffic in cities in China. This is not made up. This is real. Look at her. This is a traffic cop. For your safety, quote, this is her talking, for your safety, please ride bicycles in the non-motorized lane. A voice called, veering into the motor vehicle lane at a busy intersection in Wuhu City, East China province.
Did you just say woohoo?
Ain't that what it says? Woohoo. It's woohoo. It's not Wuhan. It's woohoo.
It looks like woohoo.
Woohoo! Where you live at? Woohoo! The warning, however, came not from a human traffic officer, but from a humanoid robot standing upright. Donning a police uniform, a reflective vest, and a white cap, the robot officer identified the badge number, police unit R001. Looks remarkably human from a distance. Up close, its metallic sleekness and futuristic demeanor have made it a local celebrity, with pedestrians frequently pausing to snap photos of the cyberpunk scene. It's a new colleague capable of assisting us effectively. Yeah, it's just a new colleague. Just a new colleague, a robot. Now, for those that know Stranger Things, the show, you recognize all these characters. But this next one says, Goodbye Hollywood. This AI does perfect character swaps. And Higgsfield, Higgsfield is the name of the program, made it unlimited for a month. So watch this. This is one guy says, I want to be every character in Stranger Things. You would never know this is not the real people. Look at this. This is the same guy becoming every character.
He's just using AI to be every one of the characters.
Yeah, so what? They're all mimicking him. It's him. He just becomes every one of them. There is no tell in that. Look at those characters. You cannot tell in that one. Look at him. There's no tell. That's 11. You would think that's her. Millie, what's it called her? Millie Bobby Brown is her name?
Mm-hmm.
You would think that's her.
L, short for 11.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, y'all.
Or just EL, one of the divinity. Am I saying the right?
And this, look at this. Look at this. This is another one. Let me go back up so you can see how it starts. Watch this. You put this. Let's see if I can get it to start again. Well, no. Had to go through it. But he's got these little dots. You know how they did in Avatar? They put this little headset on, and he makes these movies. You don't have to have CGI. You don't have to produce it. He just puts this headset on, and he makes an entire movie.
So are you?
Kling just dropped motion control, and it allows me to swap my face into whatever I want, or put myself into my favorite movie.
You were the chosen one!
Kling introduces up to 30 seconds of one-take motion control.
It's insane. Yo, without Jesus, we're in trouble.
So the average person can do this.
Yeah. What I mean, some of it has a fee, but look, let me. How can I say this? These things that are out there. This site called OF.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Women.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because you don't want to say it, you get flagged.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. First of all, get away from that junk. Get delivered from that demonic. But watch this. You need to understand that that woman that you think you're talking to, it's not a woman. It's probably this dude right here. Yeah. That's the world that you're dealing with.
Well, if you're paying to see that female on the right.
Oh God. Oh God. What in the world is this?
In the world? Okay. Go Putin. Go
Trump.
Putin.
Say love me, you put me Chanel. Hey, say love me, you put me Chanel. Hey, say love me. You gotta make me freeze.
Oh God.
Reasons that you gotta.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
This is like way worse than him riding the horse with his
Yeah. Oh no, I got to do this with my precious.
You be relentless. You
DiCaprio.
be telephone fucking.
Oh yeah. Have I seen this yet?
Now let's knock this mother.
Okay. Saved just in time.
What were you?
Okay, we got two more. Don't go anywhere. Someone asked ChatGPT, are you writing these down? Someone asked ChatGPT what it would do if it became president. And the answer is actually shocking. If you were to become president, what would you make? AI says, if I were to become president, I'd focus on structural fixes, things that improve incentives and systems long-term, not just short-term wins. Here's how to approach it. They gave a government that actually works. An economy means growth plus resilience. So housing and cost of living, healthcare reform, practical, not ideological, education overhaul, technology and future-proofing, border and immigration. That's what it says on this. Secure borders and fast legal pathways and civil and cultural stability. So the good news is if AI becomes president, it seems like there'll be a pretty stable president. I feel really good about it.
Well, at least he didn't say burn the whole place down and start over. So
Yeah. So as we wind this thing down tonight and get ready for our awards, I want to, while you're thinking about it, I tell you what, you give the nominees, and tonight I will still dance, but I will show you some of the things that you need to go down into the description and link and connect with. So the nominees for the Golden Chicken Award. Let me see the Golden Chicken. Give me the Golden Chicken. The nominees for the Golden Chicken Award.
Golden Chicken
is what?
We're still working on this for 1 second.
Okay. All right.
So why don't you go ahead and dance?
Okay. Well, let me do this.
That's another word for stall.
Yeah, that's another word for stall. Here's what you need to do. You need to go to prophecyconference26.com. And if you came in late, guess what? If you go to prophecyconference26.com, and it is linked down below in the description, and you click buy tickets, we want you to come. It's $79 registration to come. It's worth more than that by far. But if you can't come and you want to stream and get access to every session, $29 is going to give you access to every session, Friday night, all night long, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Sunday morning, and Sunday night for $29. It's going to put you behind a paywall at LarryRagland.com.
ticket, guys.
And here's the cool thing is the reason we're doing that is we're not streaming it on YouTube, Facebook, or anything because we don't want to hand tie or hamstrung. What did I just say?
No, I think.
Did I get it right?
I think you're okay. It's just, no, I don't know. It was funny.
It was funny. You just love that, don't you? I have my own language, and I like my language, and I'm not changing for nobody. But go there and get that. All right, so you got the nominees?
Let's go.
All right, so the nominees are?
Number 1, Stanford AI predicts 130 plus diseases. Number 2, man fights 10 humanoid robots at once.
And it didn't end well.
Number 3, AI does perfect Hollywood character swaps. And number 4, we're going to kick it all the way back to the beginning of the show. The Minneapolis anti-ICE
Oh, Lord,
riots.
you went there. You went there.
Yeah.
So you know what time it is.
Here we go. Again, the nominees are number 1, Stanford AI predicts 130 plus diseases. Number 2, one man fights 10 humanoid robots at once. Number 3, AI does perfect Hollywood character swaps. And number 4, Minneapolis anti-ICE riots. I don't know what you're doing because I'm trying to watch what I'm doing, but do not make me smack you in the head.
I'll smack you with the chicken.
I doubt it. We got a lot of these. Okay.
Oh, is it runaway?
I would say we have a
clear winner.
We actually have the broadest spread that I can remember us having as far as voting, but I think we have a clear winner.
And the winner is?
I do believe it's number 4, the Minneapolis anti-ICE riots.
Wow.
If I'm wrong, I apologize.
It looks like 4 is going away with
4's running away with it.
And
I don't blame you.
And that's not funny. That wasn't a funny one. That was
not
very
a funny
disturbing.
one.
Very disturbing.
Yeah, the golden chicken.
None of it's
in my
funny.
opinion, the golden chicken goes to the one that is the most ridiculous, or the one that needs to end.
True.
Or something needs to be done about, and something clearly needs to be done here.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, we're going to bring the goat out tonight.
Uh-oh.
It's a screaming goat. When there's something he doesn't like, he's got to make it known.
We're just going to do them all. We're just going to do them all. Everything we got.
Bring it
all
Bring
out.
everybody out. Thank you for that super sticker.
We got Uncle Jimmy.
Bring Cosmo out.
Woohoo!
Bring
them all out. Bring them. Here you go, Harper.
Woohoo! Beat me up. Hey, this is not Thug Life, but little cousin Comet wanted to get in on the fun, and I tried to make him a hat.
Oh, God.
Anywho.
All right. So
we're so glad you were here tonight.
Yep. Let's
tell your pets we mean no harm.
Say, all your animals are going crazy. All the animals, they're so mad at us right now. All right. We love you guys. Hey, go get your tickets for the Big Picture Prophecy Conference. We want to meet you. If you can't get the streaming option, we still would love that. But we would love to meet you guys. Yeah. Be praying for me. We'll be at the NRB in a few weeks, signing possibly advanced copies of our book in February. And then I'm flying to South Africa. And I'll be preaching in South Africa for a full week. And you'll be able to watch that live every single day in replay. So keep us in your prayers. We love you guys. We always want to remind you, no matter what's going on in the world, we ain't woke. But we are certainly awake. Bye, y'all.
Help us build the Big Picture family. We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. Go to LarryRagland.com to give a one-time gift or become a monthly partner. Any amount blesses the entire Big Picture family. While you're there, pick up our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect on social media, and get on the Big Picture mailing list at LarryRagland.com. Join us and be a part of the Big Picture family, where we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.